And you see me.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, that worries me. That means that we're 11 minutes into this, it's going to die,
Yep.
and we'll have to re-record because we didn't go through the ritual. This is we're gonna do some Bronco talk. This is the former Mile High View. Now we're covering the Walmart Generals, and I'm your host Chop Liver, and this is a guy who. Elway will not let be because he even banned him from MTV and just won't let he be he. But it feels so empty without he. So they're banning you left and right, right?
They are.
I just want to, I would say this right off the bat. I hadn't talked to you about your coaching, and this brings up, we had a lot of football talk that was refreshing. It was outside the realm of the stupidity that we're going to discuss. And I really am excited that the coaching staff is really happy to have you on board. Your players have embraced the film-centric approach, and it's already paid dividends. And congratulations to you. And your defensive coordinator is extremely excited because he doesn't have to babysit you. I got into the conversation, and we'll get into the Walmart Generals here, but I got into the conversation to you about corners, and I believe, and even watching college ball too, is that the position, in my opinion, has been really downgraded over the years. And I think it's bad technique is really being coached into these people. And I was watching the NFL, the replay on several teams, and looking at their third string, second string. I mean, it's just a lot of really bad corner play. Like you've been getting into the defensive line techniques, linebacking techniques, offensive line techniques. I have always been interested in the corner position, and noticed and frustrated in a very frustrated way of how the position's downgraded to where they don't know really how to play it anymore. It's grabby, touchy, feely. And that should not be the case, because you should be concentrating on getting the ball always. Using the wide receiver as a beacon, a homing device on the ball. You don't even need to look at the quarterback. The wide receiver will tell you everything you need to know, but even if he's decoying you. But anyway, those are conversations that we have outside of, we talk about development. And this is going to be a show about development, or the lack thereof. So I'm going to start off by talking about this notion of the Denver Broncos. Once again, we've heard this so many times, walk in and walk all over the Las Vegas Raiders. It's every time they play the Las Vegas Raiders, it's always, we're going to kill them. We're going to destroy them. Because why this time? Because they beat, their second and third string beat the second and third string Rams. I just want to put this out here to the Walmart General fans that you do realize the Raiders did the same thing to their second, and just saying. And what I would be worried about if I was a Walmart Generals fan, I would be worried the fact that your first unit struggled mightily, not just struggled, but struggled mightily. Day one and day two, yeah, they got a little pressure day two, but it all went down the tubes with multiple touchdowns by the first unit of the Rams. I would be worried mightily that your first unit struggled mightily against a team your second and third units destroyed. I mean, it would be concerning to me if I was a Walmart Generals fan. That would concern me a great deal. But that isn't even mentioned by the Walmart General content creators. So, just watching the footage and the video, to me, the steady improvement of Stidham, to me, looks like, and since we did the film breakdown, you did the film breakdown on Russell Wilson. It seems to me that the actual number one quarterback is like, per the usual with the Denver Broncos, the better guy sitting on the bench. I'm going to segue about the better guy sitting on the bench and the whole, and going back in time, because this goes to the development, not having people ready to step up, like receivers, for instance. Okay. There was a guy, a former Denver Bronco player on, and I think you remember the guy's name, on Cody Rourke's show, I think before he teamed up with Channel 9 and all that stuff. He had said that there's this thing going on at the front office of favoritism. Better players cannot supersede their starters that they refuse to acknowledge that maybe wasn't the best pick, and meritocracy, people move up based on their performance. That doesn't happen at Dove Valley. And you were talking to me about that once again the Broncos go out and get a retread because they got to swing for the retreads. And in signing a wide receiver, receivers, corners. That's right, quarterback. All the sexy moves. So do you want to talk about the Denver Broncos not being able and just refuse to even want to develop anyway? Because, they're just a retread away from an AFC championship. Can you?
Well, do I have to?
Well, yes, because
you
keep getting banned from the MTV because they won't let you be you.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
He, they, them, LG, all the above, right? All the genders of the world.
All the guys walking the hallways of Dove Valley who supposedly aren't there, but the head coach says he is there.
But we're conspiracy theorists if we think that, right?
Well, I'm not thinking. I'm just going on what the head coach said.
My apologies. Let me rephrase that. You're just going off of what Sean Payton said when John Elway still has an office in Dove Valley when he said that a few months ago, but whatever, right? Yeah.
Where's the video? We're going to leak a video of you smoking pot with teens.
I got him, Elway. I got him. So this whole thing about the Denver Broncos, I mean, it just never ends.
The who?
Oh, sorry, the Walmart Generals.
I think that the Broncos died with Pat Bowlen.
Yeah, they died with Pat Bowlen. The Walmart Generals think that they showed something when they kicked the second and third string Rams like the Raiders did, right?
Okay, let's back up. The second and third string Walmart Generals kicked the second and third string. But what happened to the first unit when they played the first unit of the Rams?
They hit them.
Who hit who?
The Walmart Generals hid their first string because they got their ass
No, I'm talking about during the joint practice.
They got their butts kicked.
Yeah, wouldn't that be a bit concerning when your second and third have their way with the team that your first unit got handled?
Yeah, and you know what? This whole notion about this Walmart Generals team, oh man, they showed something against the second and third string Los Angeles Rams, the Walmart Generals. You do understand that this is a ring around the rosy effect for the past 8 years, that I've heard the same exact sentiment for 8 years. The Walmart Generals have a stigma in that organization, and my co-host alluded to it with the guy that went on with Cody Rourke about the stigma about favoritism in that organization. And the stigma of letting good players go for shit players, a la Justin Simmons, a la Garrett Bowles, a la Jerry Jeudy, who's hurt. Oh, shocker, he's hurt.
Okay, didn't you, when the draft was going on and they picked him, didn't you mention his injury history?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, but don't pay attention.
But it was easy to scout guys like Justin Jefferson, right? Preacher Man Sports, right? But anyway.
Yeah, but wasn't it Mark Schlereth said, well, nobody knew anything about Jefferson. Jefferson, nobody, but you did, because you said we should go get Jefferson. Mark Schlereth.
Than Jerry Jeudy was coming out of college. No question about it. In my personal opinion, he was. For my scouting opinion and my scouting analysis, Justin Jefferson, and look at Justin Jefferson now, he's the best receiver in football. I mean, and plus he's in a better organization with the Vikings than he is with the Walmart Generals. Let's just get that out of the way. But Jared Stidham, Jared Stidham, number one, I didn't watch the game. I didn't need to. Like I did. Like I said, I didn't need to go to training camp last year to know this team would suck. But I didn't watch the game for two reasons. Number one, I had better things to do. Number two, I thought it was a waste of my time, honestly. Because what am I going to gain getting from what I saw this in that? Well, number one, the one thing that I noticed is was Sean Payton running his offense?
It looked like it.
It looked like it, right?
Yeah.
So we have this situation with the Walmart Generals where I believe with the Russell Wilson, I think Russell Wilson sucks so bad that I think they have to mask in terms of what they need. And I think Sean Payton, like you said, and I have to give you credit where Sean Payton has
I think we should have a conversation about what you're going to get into, but go ahead.
Okay. So I think you were the only person out there that got ahead of this, and they got ahead of this about Sean Payton working in a sandbox. And I think that is more prevalent than ever in terms of you look at the first string offense with the Broncos, and I'll go to last week's game against the 49ers.
That would be more.
You can see the difference. Where the first string, you have Pat Shermer and the backups, you have Sean Payton football. It's clear as day. I have a film breakdown on the Sean Payton offense. Film breakdown. I'm surprised that hasn't been taken down yet. But there are obvious differences from when Russell Wilson's on the field and when Jared Stidham's on the field. You see the differences
in play dynamics. In play dynamics.
And play style.
Well, I'll give
play style.
This is the style. This is a little bit outside of the conversation, but I did notice that Stidham can actually read the field when he has time. When he has time,
and I just, again, you put any quarterback behind this Walmart Generals offensive line, you're going to get killed. and I have Walmart General fans saying that our O-line has been improved. What are you watching? It looks like dog shit out there. I mean, how can you sit up there with a straight face and tell your audience and lie to your audience and say that this offensive line is improved from last year? It's not.
No.
You now got two players on that offensive line, Ben Powers, who doesn't fit the system. Because where did he come from? A multi-power run system with read option concepts with Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. They ran the ball more than they threw it. Number two, you went out and get Mike McGlinchey, who's Juwan James 2.0, can't stay healthy for a full season, and you went and overpaid and gave him the king's ransom.
Well, can we stop? Can I stop you right there? Okay, you got McGlinchey, right? What have we seen? What have we seen? What offense they're going to run with the first unit out there? Now, think McGlinchey. They're going to be throwing the ball all over the place. What is McGlinchey's weakness? What?
Pass protection.
Pass protection in a system that it doesn't fit him to begin with.
Correct.
Total front office thing. Now, I'm going to stop. We're going to get into this now. You mentioned me talking about the sandbox. I said right off the bat, the front office is going to demand that Sean Payton do like every other coach and play in this John Elway sandbox, created sandbox, because all our starters are home run hits, right? Garrett Bowles, Sutton.
Can I ask you this question, Chopped Liver?
Go ahead.
What in my film breakdowns, the past two film breakdowns that I've done, what have they done when they went past the 50-yard line?
It's Shermer ball.
Shermer ball all the way.
Now they did do some Shermer ball on their side of the 50 with Mims. I talked about that. While the second unit was out there, but they were mixing up the run quite a bit too, with something you didn't see. But I mean, even in my opinion, that what I should go back and look, but from what I remember watching the first unit, they were still throwing the ball too a lot. They were throwing the ball a whole lot more throughout their drives, no matter where they were on the field, than they ever were running the ball.
Well,
So my point is, it's pass happy football. Well, Sean Payton football is pass happy football, just to let you know. But it is. It's the pass to open up the running. But with Breeze and everything, pass happy.
But with that
But
offense,
they did run a lot more. They did run more. It was more balanced with the second unit. Out there.
well, I think once they got that offensive line fixed in New Orleans, you saw that balance start to balance out. Because I remember when he didn't have the offensive lines.
Yes.
He
And they were talking about getting rid of Breeze.
Yep, correct.
And then my Saint sources were like, they're out of their mind to get rid of Breeze. They got to get the O-line fixed. That's what they got to do.
And I'm not saying it was all Breeze. That offensive line had a big part in helping Drew Brees and that offense.
Well, I'm talking about when the offensive line was not good.
Well, I understand that, but I'm talking about once they got that offensive line fixed, once they got a Ryan Ramczyk, once they got the Cesar Ruiz, Eric McCoy, Andrews Pete, Tariq Armstead, who used to be with them. That was a top-notch offensive line.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we saw, and I'm going to be honest with you, when they had that, I loved watching Saints football because it was like it was great to watch offensive line play in terms of being on that just elite level play. I love watching the Kansas City Chiefs and the Eagles in that effect because they have elite offensive line play. It's insane.
We veered off of what I was going to talk about the sandbox, but I want to say one thing in what you're talking about. I watched, your Hard Knocks with the Jets, and their head coach said, look, we got the man. We got this guy. We got the running back. We got the receivers. None of that means anything at all if you guys aren't, playing at this level. And who are those guys he was talking about?
The offensive line.
The offensive line. So he was saying nothing. These people mean nothing. They are nothing without you. They are nothing without you. And that is that is why they're going to beat the Broncos. I'm going to tell you right now.
I don't think there's going to
be a line-centric mentality. They've been working on these lines for quite a while, so they could bring in the guy. They knew that. They're not bringing in the guy, let's get edges, and let's make some spaghetti splash moves on the offensive line and hope it all works out. No, they've been drafting and developing. Okay, anything else you want to add?
No, I think what you said.
Okay, I want to get into the sandbox thing. Excuse me. There is a former GM that all the content creators for the Walmart Generals hate. I can't remember his name. I was talking to you about him. He put out this thing. I think people will know who I'm talking about. He put out that, and I think Sean Payton has. It's just I'm speculating. I think Sean Payton has a line to this guy because Sean Payton knows he can't go to the content creators. They're all in Elway's in the front office's pocket. He knows that. So he goes to this former GM that everybody hates, and he brings up that Sean Payton's had behind closed doors with Penner said, and this goes back to what we were talking about, favoritism, about the front office thinks their starters are the best in the world. He said that he's going to give the first phase is to give this Russell Wilson experiment a shot. If Russell Wilson cannot produce as a quarterback, he is going to fire. He is going to fire Russell Wilson, and this is the message that he said to Penner: that if I can fire what's his face, Russell Wilson, I can fire Bowles. I can fire any of these front office lovers. And then we're going to start a new direction. And that's why I'm wondering why we're seeing two different systems on the field. If that's an echo of what they told that guy. I know the content creators are shaking their head. No. Also, they're also saying that, by the way, just so you know. But Dan Jacobs I thought it was really interesting. Talk to a guy, a beat writer with Las Vegas sports and Raiders and other Las Vegas sports. But he said that kind of made sense because he said that Stidham and Payton had a long conversation, and they were very surprised in Las Vegas that Stidham would leave one backup role for another backup role. He said they had to have made some incentive that it's very possible that he could start. So I'm just wondering, again, what Sean Payton has in plan for all of Elway's starters in the grand scheme of things. That's all. I know you must be feeling the same way as the content creators, that they'll never touch the Elway, because that's what they're saying. Oh, no. Sean Payton would never touch these people. And you're saying that you agree with the content creators that Sean Payton would never get rid of the Bowles, the Jerry Judys, the Suttons, the Cushionberries, the Justin Simmons, if the defense starts taking hits. You agree with the content creators that that's just a myth.
Well, number one, I don't believe the content creators at all, but I will say this. I don't think the organization can let go of those type of players.
Okay. So but I'm just saying that according to this,
I don't think that front office is, if they fire that front office, I will start to lean towards your side. But if that front office is still in there, I don't trust that organization.
Of course. I mean, this is just what
I don't think Sean Payton has the power like you. In my opinion, I don't think he has that much of a say like you think he does. I don't.
I'm not saying I think he does. I'm just saying that he may be putting that out there because he cannot go to the content creators. He knows where their bread is buttered.
That is true, but we have
it's a wait and see kind of thing what happens.
That's exactly, yes.
But I have to concur with what you're saying, that the starters, the front office starters, are playing like a Shermer ball as opposed to the second and third unit that seems to be playing a Sean Payton ball. I have to look at that and say something's up here.
Yeah.
And that may be telegraphing what this GM that the content creators hate so much. Maybe there is some truth to it. That's all. I'm just saying it's all a wait and see approach.
The one thing that I'm going to be looking forward to is if they're going to get, if the Walmart Generals are going to get rid of people in that front office, they need to clean house.
Absolutely.
House. I don't want none of this. Oh, we're bringing in a new scout here, a new scout there. No, you need to fucking just blow it up, because it hasn't worked for 8 years, and it's still the same front office that it has been even under George Payton. I mean,
well, this predates George Payton. They're still there.
Understandable, but in terms of, we bring in these fucking scouts and we bring in these executives that have no idea what they're doing. Even if they do draft a player, you really think that a guy like Javonte Williams, who, you know what, I was wrong coming out of college. I didn't know that he was going to
we discussed why he didn't. He got away from the bounce out.
Exactly.
He got away from the bounce out.
Yes, and you brought that up many, many, many times, but this is where I have to come in and dispel these myths. From what I've seen, you going out and inquiring about a Josh Jacobs, a Jonathan Taylor, and a Dalvin Cook signals to me that you're moving on, and you try to move on from Javonte.
Of course it is. Another slap in another
exactly. That right there is the mindset that I want to get out of. Is that shit right there?
Yeah, it's another slap in another player's face, as always.
This goes to the guy that I still want to talk about, Cody Rourke. You don't think that Javonte Williams sees that shit and he's pissed? Yeah. So
hold on, time out. Do you think it's just Javonte Williams?
That's just an example, chopped liver. But
do you think it's just?
No, it's not just him. It's Caden Stearns. It's a whole bunch of
Baron Browning. You think a lot of other players see this?
Oh, a whole bunch of players see that. I think there's still a divide in that locker room. I do.
Yes,
I do. But I want to get back on track. I want to talk about that Cody Rourke thing. You talk about player development in terms of Javonte Williams, Caden Stearns, Baron Browning, they hampered, Dalton Reisner, Noah Fant, Drew Lock. I can go on and on and on about this. I would even say Quentin Miners, to some degree, they've hampered that. Let's just take a step back and understand that, to me, those type of players that I mentioned, I think would have been something if you kept a Scanrillo in place, if you kept a Mike Munchak in place, even if you kept Vic Fangio, if you understood the player development aspect of it, instead of going out and getting Shermer and all this bullshit, I think there could have been something there. But what did you do? You had to do your typical bullshit. Going out getting Shermer, you have the Bronco content creators or the Walmart general content creators fucking hyping it up. You go out, you get Hackett, hype it up. You get Sean Payton, hype it up to no end. It's ridiculous, man. And you know what?
I lost the political battle.
Exactly. By who said that again?
That was Hackett. I lost the political battle. I would say that I would say that Fangio fell in that category too.
I would say
when he would
fell in that category.
When he held players like Justin Simmons accountable, and they all went mutiny.
Exactly. They didn't want the coaches to run the show. They wanted the players to run the show. Look how that worked out last year.
Oh yeah, well I want to say that the content creators, they just pushed that how evil Fangio was to play them, to hold them accountable. And now what are they doing? They went 180 degrees back to square one with Sean Payton.
I like Fangio. I'm a big fan of Fangio. I think Fangio is I like Fangio's development approach. I like his I just that's me. But anyway, when it comes to what you said there, Chop Deliver, even a Bradley Chubb falls in that category. I mean, Bradley Chubb. I mean,
Von Miller.
Well, Von Miller, I mean, come on. Von Miller, he was already fighting with Elway because Elway didn't want to pay him the contract. So, I mean, it was
GMs.
And who didn't want to draft Von Miller?
That would be Peter Peters.
No, who didn't want to draft
Von? That was John Elway.
And then Peters and the GM at the time were overrid, and Bolin overrid.
Well, ahead of scouting, yeah.
Because I remember Elway wanted Marcel Darius from Alabama, and look how that worked out. Look how he did in the NFL. It didn't do shit.
Yeah, well, and what did Elway then end up doing? He ended up hiring a bunch of men scouts. He hired a bunch of executive yes men. Yep. And those are all the guys that got to go. They all have to go. Anybody Elway hired has to go.
Exactly. Payton has to go. I'm sorry, George Payton has to go.
Well, sorry. Of course, but what I'm going to say is, of course, he's got to go. Well, first of all, let's talk George Payton here. Anybody who thinks George Payton is a GM needs to have a psychological evaluation.
Agreed.
Because how is it a GM isn't allowed to do his job and talk to Sean Payton, right? So what you're going to do, well, I'm putting a stopwatch on when these content creators throw Russell Wilson under the Bronco bus, when they get the signal to throw Russell Wilson. And again, we could get into this speculation that maybe they're going to hang on to Russell Wilson for dear life because they all know in the front office they're going to get fired after that.
How are they supposed to get rid of Russell Wilson when his cap hits $80+ million?
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. That works out really well for the people in the front office. But now I'm off track of what I was saying. Well, George Payton. So he's not allowed to talk to George. He's not allowed to talk to Sean Payton. Okay. So if he was never allowed to talk to Sean Payton, then I'm just going to ask you: is that not the job of a GM to talk to a potential head coach? Is that not the job of a GM? Yes or no?
It's a job of an athletic director at a college program. They talk with each other. If you have the same vision,
okay.
What did he do in New Orleans? Not deliver. It was Mickey Loomis, Jeff Ireland, Sean Payton.
Okay, so the bottom line is Sean Payton wasn't allowed to be a general manager, correct? With Sean,
not in New Orleans when Loomis and Ireland were there.
Okay, I don't care about them. I'm just talking Sean. I'm just talking about George Payton right now. I want to get this point driven home. Was George Payton, the Paytons? God, it's like the Office Space, the Bobs, the Paytons. Okay, was George Payton allowed to be a GM? Was he allowed to be a GM? No. So how in the world are you going to sell me that it was all George Payton who talked to an entire NFL organization to broker the Russell Wilson deal. If he's not even allowed to bring in a head coach, how in the world are you going to sell me, content creators, liars, for the front office?
They are. They
George Payton was solely responsible, and I don't care if George Payton says it himself, he's lying. If you're not allowed to get a head coach, talk to the head coach.
Dan Quinn, because who did he want? Who did he want 2 years ago?
That got shot down. Yes, he wanted Dan Quinn. So he's not even allowed to bring in a head coach. Even when he can talk to
that he wants.
Great point. So he's not even allowed to bring in and hire a head coach. He gets trumped there. So if he's getting trumped on hiring Dan Quinn, how the hell is he the architect?
Also, I have a question for you. Did Pat Bowlen fly around to go get coaches, or did he do?
No.
Why? Did he delegate? Did he delegate that to his GM department?
John Elway.
I mean, before Elway showed up to be,
years ago. Yeah.
Yes. But this to me, this whole Sean Payton signing has Greg Penner's fingerprints, Rob Walton's fingerprints all over it. Because you and I, we wanted Harbaugh. That's number one. Number two,
Harbaugh refused to come.
Dude, Harbaugh, he wouldn't come here, and I'm so happy he didn't because he has a great team at Michigan. But I just want to take this home here. Who flew to Ann Arbor, Michigan for the second time? Number two, second time to get on their hands and knees to beg for Jim Harbaugh to come to Denver. It wasn't
the owner.
Exactly.
The co-owner. The co-owner.
Well, do you have the Eagles owner going out and begging for Nick Sirianni? Do you have the Chiefs owner going out and begging for Andy Reid? Do you have the Buffalo Bills owner going out to beg for Sean McDermott? Did you have the Texans owner going to beg for DeMeco Ryans?
Yeah. I was going to say
Do you have the Jets owner to go beg for Robert Saleh? No. That's what I'm talking about, ineptitude with this organization, formerly known as the Denver Broncos, who died with one of the greatest owners of all time in Pat Bowlen.
That's why you have to create a PR department full of content creators, especially to silence critics like us who tell it like it is. Okay, you have to put that all. You have to have all those voices out there saying how wonderful all these players are that they picked, and how they're going to beat the Raiders, and how they're going to go to the playoffs every year. And every team in the NFL wants to do one thing to the Denver Broncos, and what would that be?
Kick our ass.
Kick the Walmart General's ass. That's all they care about. And if I'm the Las Vegas Raiders, let's see. I'm looking at the hype again. I'm seeing that the Las Vegas is buying into the hype once again. Even though, as the Las Vegas Raiders have kicked your ass, repeatedly, you're again an underdog coming in. And I would take that personal. And just the fact that I want to kick just to begin, it's just like, oh my God, look, we got them week 1. We can be the first team to kick their ass.
Dude, you do not think the Raiders are gearing up to kick our ass? Come on.
Yes,
because I mean that D line for the Raiders. Oh my God,
their first units just shred. Of course, they said that the 49ers first unit offensive line had taken some hits, but yeah, they were just dismantling it like.
Very true.
They were greatly dismantling that. I mean, in front of your eyes, they didn't even stand a chance. They just destroyed it.
You brought up the point about organizational and how they have to create a PR department and all that. To me, when you think of when I brought up those organizations, the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Bengals, the teams like that, the PR department in Denver is so vast that I go to the Eagles, I can go to the Rams.
I went to the Rams.
It's ridiculous. I don't see as much content coming from those guys.
Not even close. Not even close.
Broncos, it's Mile High Huddle. It's all these 104 point. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. And That's the
Yar
mindset.
Walmart
Yeah,
General.
yeah. Denver Broncos syndicate. God. But anyway, that's the mindset that we have to get out of. That shit like that. Because you you were bringing up a great point about how they had to create a PR department. I think you need to create a culture. And everybody's like, oh, Sean Payton's doing that. No, he's not. Get the fuck out of here. What did I say about the whole scoreboard? And then you brought up the suites about the rich people,
Oh,
about
the
the
rich people, they
billionaires
get a
and
lot. They get a lot.
yeah. Everybody's making a big deal about this new scoreboard. Why in the fuck would I make a big? I don't give a fuck about a new scoreboard or whatever. I don't care. I
I want to
care
see a
about the
product
winning.
on the field. I
Can
know.
we
I
can
want to
we
see a
have a
product
winning
on the
product
field.
on the field first before we go out and fucking go get a new
Well, you
field?
heard the content creators. They've got it all figured out now, the
Oh
Broncos.
yeah, they do. They have it all figured out. Okay, yeah, that's why you guys have been wrong for 8 years. Yeah, okay, you sure know what you're talking about when you're telling me with a straight yeah. Keep pounding your chest because you do it every off season, and then once the season turns around, you'll tuck your tails and run, and then you'll make videos on your YouTube channel saying that I'm going to take down my YouTube channel because this is getting out of hand.
I can't know. I'm looking forward to the channel takedowns. That's I'm really looking forward to that.
There's a reason I do not look forward to Sundays because it's just like, do I have to watch this game? Yes, because I have to talk about it. Number one. Number two, I mean, it is so hard watching an offense and defense having a tough time doing what they should be doing. I mean, it doesn't even look easy for them. It looks
Yes, they look like it's everything's a struggle for them out there. I go and look at the ones and look at the first on these other teams that they don't have that same struggle to them.
Because they've ran the same system for years. They don't hit flip-flop systems every other year. That is the sign of ineptitude, and that's a sign of dysfunctional organizations if you're hip-hopping and flip-flopping every fucking year.
Speaking of flip-flopping, what did they do right now during the Sean Payton era? Didn't they get players that don't fit the system?
Yeah, okay, all right, let's bring up this point, Chop Delivery. You bring up a great point right there. Jerry Jeudy's on. Oh, my God, he hurt his hamstring. Jerry Johnson, he was so important to our success. It's 2023. He was drafted in 2019. 2020.
Well, wait a minute. You're not buying all the hype that he's like Jerry Rice? Okay. He's been Jerry Rice for 3 years? You mean wait a second, you're trusting your eyeballs. Don't tell me you're doing that again. You're trusting your eyeballs and not the hype.
And that's why Sean Payton was trying to trade Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton, right? This offseason.
That's why I'm getting back to, not playing in John Elway's sandbox. I'm telling you, they're going to hang on to Russell Wilson with dear life, that front office.
And he sucks, man. I don't feel sorry. You're hating. I mean, let me ask you this question: as a Walmart, if you're a Walmart General fan, is this the product that you look forward to every year?
Oh, I'm going to answer your question. If I'm a Walmart General fan, right, I am timing the moment they're going to throw Russell Wilson under the Bronco bus.
And then I'm timing the moment where I'm going to come in and hold you people accountable like always. Because you wanted Russell Wilson. You wanted this. And you know what? I don't feel sorry for these Walmart General fans, nor do I feel sorry for these players in terms of Simmons, Bowles, Jeudy, Sutton, Russell Wilson. I don't feel sorry for him. You wanted this. You wanted to get rid of Fangio because he was too hard on you. That is what a coach is supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't want that. Let the players coach themselves.
Let me ask this, Chop Liver. You think me, as a linebackers coach, you think I kiss my players' asses, or do you think I push them to get better?
Yeah, well, you motivate them to want to get better.
Motivate them in a good way in terms of their technique, their player development, and also how they're going to play on Fridays for high school football.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, you're not going to get that development nonsense, that BS development. You're not going to get that at the Walmart Generals. what retread they can grab next, what splash move over there they can
let's
do.
go get Dorsett.
Well, yeah. Let's just get guys that don't even fit a system, and let's get spaghetti, throw it against the wall and then what we do is we call our PR department up to completely over eyeball this and convince the Las Vegas betting that they're going to go to the playoffs because they got a magic wand called Sean Payton. He's just going to magically transverse these people that suck.
They said the same thing about Hackett, how he was going to wave a magic wand and transform.
Well, we're going to see offense we've never seen before, right? It wasn't that the Cody Rourke? Isn't that what Cody Rourke said? We're going to see offense play calling that we've never. That's so inventive and fresh that not that old Fangio stuff. No, not that old Shermer Ball stuff. And what did we see? We saw Shermer Ball, didn't we?
Yeah, we saw Shermer Ball.
I lost the political battle, says Hackett. I lost the political battle.
That wasn't a coincidence. That was meant to be said by Hackett.
So let me ask you this. We got Sean Payton coming out saying that Trotsky still roams the hallways. We have the GM that the content creators hate. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry about that. Saying that there's already whispers behind closed doors going against the front office. So there's already a political battle in my mind going on there as usual, per the usual. That's what you get with the Broncos, a political battle going on internally.
Yep.
That shouldn't surprise anybody. But, the ownership, they embraced it. They didn't say, like every company that does a buyout, they didn't say, man, you guys sucked for 7 years. And now we're not going to sign this quarterback. We're going to wait and see. This isn't our.
Well,
this is all you front office guys. But they didn't do that. They embraced the suck, embraced the bad management. They embraced it. And then they amplified it.
I'm going to ask you a question, Chalk Deliver. This goes back to my high school coaching. Do you think they kept the linebackers coach before who sucked, or they brought in somebody new and fresh?
I think they got whoever they could get.
Well, I'm talking about there were other people for the job. It wasn't just me. But why do you think I got the job?
Oh, you. I thought you were talking about the general.
Exactly. And, you bring up the fact that, it's the same shit every year, man. It's the wash, rinse, repeat. I mean, wow, political wars going on in Denver. Wow, I haven't seen that for 8 years.
No, your defensive coordinator said, at least I don't have to babysit the coach, And for you, I can let you do your job, and I don't have to worry about the linebacking core.
No.
So they get who they can get, mismatched players.
Zach Strife, another, and I'm just waiting for them to start blaming him, which they already are getting ready for. They're already starting to.
No, I was going to get into that. Because they've got to hang on to Russell Wilson. They've got to hang on to Russell Wilson for dear life. So all of a sudden, you're going to see this season it's going to be the offensive line. Oh my God! Can you believe this? Oh my God! Let me just say this. Strife, the coach of the offensive line, he didn't go out and get McGlinchey, okay? That was the front office. Yes. He wasn't the guy that got Powers next to Bowles and Cushenberry, okay?
And where was Powers next to in Baltimore? Ronnie Stanley and Tyler Lindenbaum.
I watched their offensive line, and they haven't missed Powers. Because why? Why is it they don't miss such a good player in Powers?
Culture and identity and player development already established for that O-line.
How long has that culture been in there? That same identity been in there? How long has that been going on?
Since Harbaugh arrived there in Baltimore, so
yeah, a long time. So that's alien. You're speaking alien to the Walmart Generals at that point.
Well, what's also alien to these Walmart General fans is that's how you know that's a good organization, when you can let a Ben Powers go and supplement another player and let.
That's my point. That, and again, I mean, looking at the Rams, this is a little off the cuff. They look like they've kind of lost that developmental ability.
They have. But also, I think it's because they went all in for that 1 year, and then they don't have any.
And that again, there's a good lesson for you.
And I think again, I would take a Super Bowl, but again, I wouldn't sacrifice the health of my team for a Super Bowl. I'm sorry.
Well, here you go. This is where you get organizations that have a clue. And the GM, the head coach, they all talk to the owner and say, look, we probably could go to a Super Bowl, but you got to understand that's a short-term gain, but there's going to be a long-term loss in all this. And it's going to take, we're going to have to rebuild all this. It's going to take time again. You can't get short-sighted and go into Elway panics. I'm going to swing it. Oh my God, I got to swing for a retread because I see a name. Oh, right there. Ahoy. I'm in the harpoon,
Yeah. Yep.
Captain Ahab, man, that retread, the retread harpoon. I got a retread. I got him on the line. Arr! Like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers of the 70s. Oh, by the way, Marilat used the John McKay reference. I keep saying that.
I wonder where he got that from.
I don't know. They don't pay attention to us.
No, they did. We're not important, so.
No. So anyway, going into the season, it looks like more of the same. Wash, rinse, repeat. How much, our question is, how much power does Sean Payton really have?
We're going to find out.
Front office.
We're going to find out.
We're going to find out. Stay tuned. To me, that's the more interesting storyline going into this season. He's not going to fix Russell Wilson. I mean, I'm just going to say Russell Wilson's going to have a major metamorphosis, a major change. He's going to have to turn into a butterfly from the caterpillar he is.
I wouldn't say Russell Wilson. I'd say this whole entire team has to have metamorphosis because, dude, I'm telling you.
Well, no, you're right. Oh, yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm just starting at the top.
Oh, yeah.
Then,
well, you always have to start at the top because it's quarterback. But
Quarterback.
I got it. That's why Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl when he faced Tampa Bay when his offensive line was getting their asses kicked. Yeah.
I'm hanging on to Russell Wilson. Blame the offensive line. It's all that.
When I look at the past couple Super Bowl winners, what is the one thing that is consistent throughout the entire Super Bowl winning teams? Great offense and defensive line play. Always.
Don't pay attention to that. It's edges, corners.
It's all Patrick Mahomes. It's all Jalen Hurts, right?
Yeah, receivers.
Yeah.
What did he say, the head coach say? Aaron Rodgers doesn't mean anything. Your running back doesn't mean anything. Your great line means nothing. They mean nothing.
It's the offensive line.
It starts and ends are all there. Yeah. We've been hitting that table for what?
Well, we've also, the Walmart General content creators, we've been saying that for 8 years. Really? You have? Because it's the continued bullshit.
I know. Well, we got you on. These people don't realize there's this thing called.
Well, they actually, what they like to do is they like to say they hate us, but they watch us and then they take what we say. Because now they're saying Bronco content creators. Where did they get that from?
Gee, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know, man. It must have been a fucking fly on the wall when.
Well, I've got them. So, like I said, these content creators don't seem to realize they live in a world and they work in a medium of video and audio. You go back, and what did they say about the offensive line for the last 8 years? It was the same mantra. Good enough. Good enough.
Same with the middle linebackers. Good enough.
Menelik Watson, yeah, what a great move.
Donald Stevenson.
Ron Leary. Yeah. Just good enough. Don't worry.
Barber.
Don't worry. Garrett Bowles, we got that left. And they're still talking about. I mean, Marilat can't let Garrett Bowles go.
That's why we drafted Ryan Ramczyk, who's a consistent Pro Bowl. Right.
Who wants that?
The Saints do. The Saints do, and he's kicking ass, and he's probably going to be a future Hall of Famer. So.
No.
And did he play for again? The University of Wisconsin. Oh man, wow! They actually produce good old lines up there in Madison, Wisconsin. Huh.
Well, yeah, but if you're the Walmart General, you try to sabotage the guy you got from Wisconsin. Just try to.
Yeah, Matt Hennison.
Well, the other guy too, on the other side.
Oh, Quinn Miners.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Wisconsin
sabotage them. Yeah, I like how Hennessy just made your point.
They laughed at my face. Oh, he sucks. Oh, he sucks. Okay. All right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, stop watching film, right? Just watch hype. Just watch some highlights.
That's film. Is watch highlight reels and watch what ESPN puts out on draft day. That's film.
I am going to end with this: is that I find it very interesting that Bronco Syndicate gets access. I mean, anybody can obviously pay and get in, but gets access and films. And I post on there, you forgot this, and then oh my god, you're right. Oh, what?
Shadow ban.
Then I get shadow ban, where he knows I get shadow ban. Now I just want to make a disclaimer here: the guy running Syndicate can't shadow ban me. Somebody else with the power, who's got an in with YouTube, I don't believe he does, can shadow ban. So only I can have a conversation with him, but nobody can see what I post, holding him accountable.
Mm-hmm.
There was no holding at all. That's why the call didn't get called. And I do disagree with Bubble Man. He did Judy was unimpeded completely, did have a step, but you have to throw an Aaron Rodgers type throw completely over the shoulder to get right here. If you don't throw that, it'll be incomplete every single time. Even Aaron Rodgers, Brady, even the best of them can't. It's a low percentage pass. So why do you continue to do it play after play after play? And I believe in taking a shot. I don't disagree with that, but don't make that the main thrust of your game plan. You're talking low percentage completion, so you're going to be walking away with only 3 points many times, if even you get the 3 points. Oh, that reminds me, we just got a kicker, because we were talking about how the players in the locker room feel. So you got a guy who straightened his leg out and is doing really well, kicking. He got it figured out. So how did you reward this guy? You rewarded him by bringing in a guy that you're familiar with. Doesn't mean he's going to be better. It's just a guy you're familiar with. What kind of message does that send, again, to the locker room? Doesn't matter how good you do. It just doesn't matter. Wash, rinse, repeat.
Same old shit.
Yeah. So I can't wait to see those highly motivated first unit going up against another highly motivated first unit
that wants to kick your ass.
And then next week and the week after that, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
What week do we start blaming the offensive line so we can protect Russell Wilson? What week do we do that?
Probably after the Jets game.
By that time, I was thinking maybe even after the Commanders. I was going to go with.
Man, I cannot wait till that Commanders D line comes to Denver. Oh my God.
Well, they're going to get another D line coming to Denver with the Raiders, but
and the Jets.
So I'm predicting blame the offensive line going into week 3. That'll be blame the.
I can see that. Yeah.
Do you think that the front office will try to stick with this blame the offensive line all the way through the season in order to protect Russell Wilson for another season?
Yes.
Okay, that's kind of what I got planned in my prediction. See, with the Walmart Generals, it's not wins or losses that I'm even interested in. It's narratives. What will the narratives be?
Yeah, narratives come out.
Yeah, because this team is in no way going to go anywhere, no matter what. They can't compete with these upper echelon teams. Not even close. Nope. Not even close. So what I predict is I'm trying to predict narratives. It's not hard to predict. We've seen them for the last 8 years, but they are a little unique each year. And this year is probably, the year of saving Russell Wilson,
Yeah.
doing everything you can to not say he's washed up. So you can just start cleaning house. So anyway, that's my 2023 preseason going into the season take
And take.
and cut. That's a wrap.
Wrap.
All right, you better get back. You got college, or you got college football to. You got
college football
ready
tomorrow.
for college football.
I
Or
got
grooming
college
themselves for college football.
Yep, I got college football tomorrow. Then I got high school football on Friday.
Yeah, and I got a car that needs, again, repair work. So I got to keep doing that. Got my catalytic converter stolen here.
Yeah, keep at
in
it.
the land of eco-fascist. So I got to repair some stolen property.
Yep. Get back to repairing that truck.
Oh, it's actually the car.
Oh, car. My apologies.
Yeah, that's what they stole the catalytic converter out of the car. There's some guy named Sav that I probably should. Maybe he's got a clue. who could be responsible?
Yeah, who could be responsible?
All right. So with that last little jab there, I don't have anything else.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, we'll come back on this at some point. I really would like to get into beyond analytics. That's the fun stuff.
That's fun. That's fun to us. I think we should start doing that and just.
Yeah, you know what? We should scour the NFL for really good, just good technique plays, all across the board.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say we already have one team we could show what not to do.
Yeah. I mean that's easy. I mean it's the Walmart Generals.
Yeah. This is what don't.
Yeah,
if you're a safety, please don't play goalie for the Manchester United because these upper echelon teams, they're gonna make you real good use of that space.
I mean, if you want a great coach to for Manchester United, there's Ted Lasso out there. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly, he'll tell Justin Simmons to just stick around the goal here.
how great he is,
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Doing his best, Jeff Fisher.
Yep.
All right, I'll see you.
All right, take care.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Kirk out.